Yeah, that's right. Oh, they would come out on the radio saying, also give us a shout, just phone the radio back, give this man a shout in his shop, and they do that, and obviously when it comes over live, they're made up. So yeah, that's how we used to
raise a bit of money.
Raise a little bit of money.
Okay.
But really we wanted to establish a permanent radio station in Southampton. That was the whole goal and the whole means and the whole effort of it all.
So the people that used to DJ on the radio station, were they just volunteers? They didn't get paid?
They didn't get paid, no.
Okay. And so these are members of the black community?
Younger community as well. You know, a lot of the younger community was involved in the radio station.
Yeah. So
it wasn't just older heads.
So you used to basically broadcast from a residence, a dwelling, and was it every day? Or?
Yeah, every day, 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
You had enough.
We used to call it the late night shift. We used to call the graveyard shift.
The graveyard shift.
Yeah, that was early hours of the morning.
And you had enough volunteers.
Plenty of volunteers.
Okay.
In them times, there's a lot of people that wanted to get their music out.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. I remember participating as well.
Well, a lot of people did because it was exciting.
Yeah.
I actually went to court and got fined for £100 for running an illegal radio station.
So the police caught you?
Yeah, they did. They caught me red-handed.
How did that circumstance?
I was broadcasting from Millbrook Road.
Right.
We had a little warehouse down Millbrook Road we were broadcasting from.
Yeah.
And I was actually in there playing the records.
Yeah.
When the DTI, which is the Department of Trade and Industry, which is a government body designed to stop illegal pirating. Yeah. Well, they raided us, and obviously I got caught red-handed. I got taken to court and fined for £100.
Right. Okay. So they caught you, and what happened to the equipment and the music?
They took it.
And all the records?
They didn't take the records at that stage, because at that stage they wasn't allowed to. It's only later on that they got permission to take the records.
Okay.
Which stopped a lot of the DJs coming.
Yeah. Okay, so that was basically them raiding you, but did that stop you from broadcasting?
Not at all, no. Just same setup straight away again.
Yeah.
Carried on. No, we had to.
Yeah.
The music has to be heard.
Yeah. So how long did you started in the early 90s, how long did it last for?
Good couple of years.
So up until what, 93, 94?
Yeah, we was being heard all over the place because we had the area on the top of Albion Towers.
Which is a long, big, tall tower block.
Yeah, it's just that big, tall tower
behind
block.
Behind where we are now.
Yeah, we had an area up there. So we used to go reach Bournemouth, Portsmouth.
Oh God!
We used to drive out and listen to it, how far we could hear it.
Okay, and you had a following from people from those areas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And of course we used to run dances off the back of the radio station.
Run what, sir?
Run dances.
Dances, okay.
Off the back of the radio, promote the dances off the radio station.
Yeah.
So you get more people coming along to the dances just to see who the DJs are and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's all quite bubbling along nicely.
So you had pirate radio, but that didn't last because it was shut down. And you were denied a license.
Yeah.
As well as pirate radio stations, promotion. Did big artists used to come down to Southampton?
Yeah, big artists. I mean, we've had some great artists down here in Southampton.
Which artists have come down to
Well, Gregory's been here. Gregory Isaac.
Yeah.
You know, you've had Frankie Paul.
Yeah.
You know, variety of different artists, big artists, Jamaican artists, you know.
Yeah, that come down. And where would they play mainly? Which venue?
They played in the West Indian Club mainly.
Mainly in the West Indian.
Yeah.
And there is actually a video of Sugar Minot,
Sugar Minot, another great dance.
Yeah, King Kong and Tenorfly, which you can see on YouTube. That's been uploaded on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. That's brilliant. So basically the West Indian Club was the hub for these promotions.
Definitely.
Did any of these promotions happen away from the West Indian Club, or was it
No, really, West Indian Club was really the prime mover in that, you know.
Okay. So you had pirate radio for a few years, like the big towns. You had big artists coming down. What about sound systems? Did big sound systems come down to Southampton?
We've had Saxon down here, we've had Copson down here.
Yeah.
You know, we have some really good sound systems down here.
And this was again at the West Indian.
Yeah, this is again at the West Indian.
After the dance, would any of these sound systems play
Go to the blues and play the blues, yeah.
They would?
A lot of them would, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we had a lot of Bristol sounds that would do that, Quaker City, Qualitex.
Yeah. They would play at the West
Club
Indian
and Blues, yeah.
And the blues, okay. So you had a pirate radio station, you had big promotions, sound systems coming to Southampton. What about music shops, black record shops. Now, I did interview some of the older community before your generation, Milton Geddes, Reds, Winston Robinson, Peter Cato and Kerwin Rogers. And they were telling me in the 60s, Salim Gillings, the generation are in their 80s now and above, they started a record shop selling ska and bluebeat, but that was in the 60s. Your generation, 70s, 80s, 90s, were there any attempts to have an outlet for reggae and soul music in Southampton where you could buy it?
But there was again, it was Jimmy John that had a little record shop on Northern Road.
Northern Road, yeah. And that started, what, 90s?
Yeah, in about the 90s, I think so,
Yeah, and...
like I said, I have to ask Jimmy about that.
Yeah.
He'll give you more information.
And you could buy, what could you buy from?
You buy records in there.
Records?
Yeah.
Okay, and tapes?
Posters, tapes, things like that.
And how long did that last for?
I'm not quite sure. I don't think it lasted long.
A year or two?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. So there were attempts to establish...
There have always been attempts. I mean, there have been attempts to open cafes and, food shops and...
Yeah.
But like I said, the black community now is so small, so fragmented, so drifted apart. It's a shame. Yeah. Because, I mean, you look at back in the 70s and 80s where there was riots all over the place. Liverpool, Manchester, Bristol, London. We can write down here because there weren't enough of us, but that didn't mean to say that we didn't feel the same about the struggle, the same anger and resentment against, the forces of police and government. They were basically persecuting us, not giving us a right to live and be free equally, like everybody else.
What about, I mean, I know people in the 70s and 80s, there were sometimes marches by the far right, like the National Front. Was there anything like that in Southampton?
Yeah, there weren't really any big marches in Southampton. It was more in the bigger cities, London and all that. Southampton, although it's a big city, seems to have been neglected.
Yeah.
There's a lot that could happen here. Because the manpower is here, you know what I mean? There's people willing and ready to do the work. But again, it boils down to where do we meet? Where do we go?
Yeah, because at the moment, I understand, as we are talking now in 2019, there's only one black-owned club in Southampton, isn't
Neville.
It's called the Sober.
Sober.
Yeah, and they sometimes have dances in there.
That's right, I was at one last week.
Right. But that's basically it.
That is it. You don't get that, that's it.
Right, so... Okay, so you had sound systems, you had pirate radio stations, you had attempts to set up a black record shop. What about bands? Were there any famous bands?
Ebony Rockers right from around here.
Ebony Rockers, they started in the 70s?
70s, yeah.
And they were what type? They were a
reggae band. Reggae band, yeah.
And they're still playing now?
No, they disbanded now.
They disbanded, but they were quite big.
Yeah, they were. Very good music as well.
Yeah.
Very good lyrics in the tunes.
Yeah. And they were all
very
local
talented
lads.
people, local lads, yeah.
Local lads, okay. So you had reggae bands, you had sound systems, you had black record shops, you had attempts to start a pirate radio station.
Well, it seems like it's all flourishing the way you say it like that, because now we've got absolutely nothing.
Now you've got nothing, but those things, I mean, lasted, but there were attempts to make them last, but they petered out, basically. Yeah. But the only things that haven't petered out are the sound systems, I understand. I think the sound system is still running strong. There is one that's still running strong now, isn't
Macca, that's about
Macca Foundation, yeah. And they started in '79, and they're still playing dances now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the legacy from the back in the day.
Yeah, Macca
Foundation, right. And in terms of, I mean, I listen, and no doubt a lot of people who are watching this remember buying sound tapes. For those people who don't know what sound tapes are, they're recordings of the biggest sound systems in Jamaica and in London and Birmingham that would be copied and listened to. So say, for example, a big London sound system had a clash with a big Birmingham sound system, the session would be recorded on tapes and those tapes would be sold. Were those hard to get hold of in Southampton?
Not at all. We used to go to London, like I say, and buy them.
Right.
When we bought the records, we bought the tapes.
Yeah.
So it was always well up on the sound clashes and things like that. And of course, you got to give David Rodigan a mention of all this.
Right.
Because he's been going for years and he's brought music to the Outbacks, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, down here we didn't get a lot to listen to reggae music on the radio and all that. You know, it was non-existent.
So before your pirate radio,
shining light.
Yeah. So before your pirate radio station in the 90s, what I mean, and you obviously had the sound systems, but on a normal day, on a weekday, where could you hear reggae?
Well, you couldn't.
You couldn't. There was no place you could hear. Not even 1 hour on a weekly radio station.
Not at all, because what it was, I mean. Back in the day, I don't know whether you remember a DJ called John Peel.
Yeah, John Peel.
He used to play a couple of reggae records. We used to have to wait an hour for one record.
And this was late at night on a...
Late at night, yeah. You used to have to wait an hour for one reggae record.
One reggae
if you
record.
get what I mean.
Okay.
But, you know, so, yeah.
So where there's potentially dozens of releases every week in Jamaica, basically before pirate radio station, and you know, and apart from hearing sound systems play music, you'd have the odd DJ on the main station like BBC Radio 1 playing the odd reggae record.
Yeah, Miss P.
Or ranking Miss P, and that was it basically.
That was it.
Yeah. Because people in London, they had pirate radio stations in
they
the late
had everything.
70s. So they didn't have to rely on these. But if you're out in Southampton,
sticks.
in the sticks, the country,
You can't get it.
you couldn't get the radio stations before you started one, so it'd be mainstream.
That's right.
So Radio 1 played the odd reggae record maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah, Tom Rankin. And,
Yeah.
You know.
That was Miss Ranking from BBC Radio 1. And what, did she play once a week?
I think it was once a week, yeah.
Once a week. But that was it basically.
That was it, yeah.
What about the local Southampton main radio station? Was it called Radio Solent, the mainstream station?
They didn't play any reggae on there.
They didn't play any reggae. Was any attempts made to ask them to play?
Not that I know of.
Right.
Not that I know of. No.
Right, okay. And so we've talked about the music, the pirate stations, the sound systems, the fashion.
Yeah, fashion was always important.
Fashion was always important. You had the hats back in the day.
Beaver hats, yeah.
The beaver hats, the Kangol caps.
Yeah, Kangol, yeah.
And then when the suits came out, do you remember the click suits?
Click suits, yeah. Shell suits.
Yeah.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Boaty.
So how did, if you're living in Southampton, again, you're isolated, how did people growing up in Southampton learn about the latest stars, the latest hats, the latest suits, the latest shoes?
Well, mainly it was the artists, the reggae artists that was wearing the hats and the suits, and you know, back in them days we used to copy them.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they became culturally fashionable to wear a Kangol or a beaver.
Yeah.
It's beavers was a state of status, I suppose, a status symbol.
So those people who don't know what a beaver is, give us an example of an artist.
A beaver is a beaver skin hat.
Yeah.
Which is got a collar on it, a white collar on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's made of beaver skin.
And which famous artists used to wear them?
Pardon?
Which famous artists used to wear them?
Gregory Isaac used to wear them a lot.
Yeah.
And you see mainly pictures of Gregory Isaac, he's more or less always wearing a beaver hat.
Beaver hat, okay. Yeah.
You know what beaver hat is?
Yeah. But for our listeners, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, you had beaver's hat, and and you were going to mention other types of fashions as well, other types of hats.
Just Kangol basically. Everyone used to wear trilbies or. But back then, every person used to wear a hat.
Right.
But nowadays they don't wear hats.
Yeah.
Back then everyone was wearing a hat.
Yeah. And where did you used to buy your hats from?
Again, London, Bristol.
Okay. Where they had the outlets.
Where they had the outlets, yeah. I mean, the markets in London was a very great outlet. I mean, we used to go to the markets in London all the time for clothes and that.
Yeah. Now that's interesting. So basically, you used to, if it weren't for the West Indian Club, if it weren't for the shebeens, you wouldn't hear the music, you wouldn't see the artists, and if it weren't for the sound systems who went to London and buy the records, you wouldn't hear the records. So all of that now obviously is how the mainstream black culture filtered into Hampshire and into Southampton. And so the fashion, the music and everything came obviously from visiting artists, visiting sound systems, and local guys going to other cities and local guys going to London to buy their music.
Yeah,
so yes, that's how the culture filtered in to Southampton. But that kind of obviously petered out then from the late 90s. As you mentioned, the community doesn't live in Derby Road anymore. They've all moved out, or have they been moved out? Should I say?
They've been ethnically cleansed. I'll put it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I've done a bit of ethnic cleansing there in the area.
This is what the government, the powers, the council.
The powers to be, the government.
So where have they? Oh, sorry, excuse me. So where have they actually moved black people?
Well, they moved all over the town, all over the city.
So they used to live near the Derby Road area. Now
but now all over the place.
What areas are they all like moved into now?
Well, all over Thornhill, Sholing, Millbrook, all over the place.
Yeah. So they've all been dispersed.
Dispersed, yeah.
Okay. But still, like you said, the younger generation, your children and their children,
They stick together.
They still know each other from memories of
back in the day.
West Indian
from them as young, growing up.
Yeah. So that link has been maintained. It's not a case of.
And hopefully in the future, I mean, I haven't given up yet, but I hope to get it all back together again.
Yeah.
You know, the music, the people, the meeting place.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year, year after.
Yeah.
2020 is a different year, isn't it?
It is.
You know, it's a big. 2020 makes a big statement.
Yeah.
You know.
So, in your experience in your life, any memorable moments you can share with us that you can tell us about?
I've had a lot of memorable moments. I've had a lot of bad moments as well.
Yeah. Well, not a struggle. But any memorable moments you want to share? Any?
My memorable moments have been abroad, actually.
Right.
In Australia, because I went to Australia for a couple of months.
Ah.
And that was a memorable trip down there.
Yeah.
Trouble is they didn't have the music that I wanted to hear down there.
So you went there, and it was mainly what music did you hear there? Just
pop music.
Okay.
I didn't get me roots.
Yeah. So there wasn't really a Caribbean community in Australia.
No.
So you moved back then?
Well, I didn't intend to stay over there anyway. I just went for a holiday to see my son.
Yeah, he lives in Australia.
Yeah, he lives in Australia, and then I've come back here, and obviously the struggle continues.
Yeah. Okay.
But nowadays, listening to music is very different. Like when you come in, I had it on the internet coming through the light bulb. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Smart bulb, and you can pick up any form of music, reggae music you want.
So you were listening to a South London reggae station in your residence in Southampton. Now, with the internet age, you don't need pirate radio. You can pick it up from London, Birmingham, Bristol, or wherever they are.
That's right. Yeah.
Music. You can find out on the internet.
24/7.
Sound system dances on the internet.
Yeah.
But there's no real substitute really for
the real thing.
For hearing a
the
sound
actual
system.
vibe.
Up the vibe.
The bass line.
Yeah.
You know, the tops.
Yeah, because you can hear music in your car. You can watch a reggae sound clash on YouTube.
But you don't get the effect.
Until you go to a carnival, for example, Bristol Carnival, you can't feel it, can you really? And there's that feeling that people don't appreciate. But in terms of memorable memories, I'm talking about in the black community in Southampton that you can remember. Any things that you've witnessed that you know.
I've had some great times in the West Indian Club and Glorious Blues, and you know, that's really great times. You know.
Yeah.
So we met some really good people.
Yeah.
You know, humble people, really good people I've met.
Yeah.
But there's always also the wicked people, but it's the same in black and white.
Yes.
You know, there's no difference as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, it's no good me saying black people are all good because they're not.
Yeah. And any message now you have for the community? What would be
my overriding message would be say give thanks and praise to the Father God every day. To guide you through every single day, you have to say your praise every day. A lot of people say, oh my God, when they're in trouble, you know. And as soon as they're out of that trouble, they forget about Him.
Yeah.
But you can't forget, you've got to persevere.
Yes.
And you've got to endure. And you've got to say your prayers, and you've got to believe. And you've got to have knowledge, wisdom and understanding of how life is. You know, and that's a message that I would give.
And what about your message to the younger generation who are in their teenagers?
Have faith. Stick together with each other and have faith that a better day is coming for you. I know it's rough with all these knife crimes and, you know, people carrying knives and that. You know, and
Southampton has been spared that, has it?
We've been spared that, thankfully.
Because
I think we only had one in the last.
Kids know each other, do they?
Yeah. They all know each other, so that's a bonus. Not like London, where there's gangs all over the place, and you know they don't know each other, and life is cheap. And you've got to value life.
Yeah. Okay, so big things maybe in the next couple of years.
Hopefully, when I ain't going to stop till till my heart stops.
Plenty of years left yet.
Plenty of years left.
Yeah. Okay, well, Mr. Don Cooper, thank you very much for letting us into your residence today and giving us time to speak to you about your experiences in Southampton.
It's not a problem.
And we'll look forward to what you have in mind for the next couple of years.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
You're a gentleman. Thank you.
Thank you.